Hey, today we have a brand new major order from High Command, and we're also going to go over how the Gloom has expanded further. I'll show you an image from the developers that was posted on their social media account. Not only that, but we have so much more to talk about. If you enjoy my content, please support the channel by clicking the thumbs up button below the video. With that said, let's jump right in. Alrighty, first and foremost, the Gloom has unfortunately expanded further into sectors on the map, and High Command informed us last night about the situation. They sent out two messages basically notifying us that Parshian and Astanu are now surrounded by a low-density Gloom, and that other planets in those sectors will soon be covered in the thick yellow haze. If you haven't seen the situation at hand, let's go ahead and check out the galactic map. We can see that both Astanu and Parshian have a low-density Gloom around them. By no means is it extreme, but it's definitely going to get worse as time goes on. The question is, will it continue to expand further and further until it reaches Super Earth? It's possible. However, I think what will happen is we'll use the new E711 to control this singularity as the Illuminate have done in the past, right? And potentially use it as a vacuum. Of course, that's totally outrageous, yet who knows. Anything can happen in Helldivers. I mean, we did create a singularity by injecting dark fluid into Meridia's crust, so anything can happen. What I'd like to know is, what do you Helldivers think will happen with the Gloom as it expands further and further? If you have a theory, feel free to post a response below. Okay, continuing along, we've got news about a brand new major order, and guess what? Instead of on the Terminate side, we're now on the Automaton side, and we're actually going to learn more about Vessel 00 as well as Database 1. If you don't recall, that was a major order way back, maybe a year ago, and I believe we lost the major order, so we really didn't know what was going on there. Anywho, High Command wrote this, and this is what they had to say. In the early stages of the Second Galactic War, a daring Helldiver raid on Wasat liberated a top-secret Automaton data center, codenamed Database 1. Ongoing efforts to decrypt this data have so far been of limited success. However, intel discovered within the recently freed ultramafic mine on Mentoria has identified an opportunity for a breakthrough. Enemy files indicate that data caches on Minkit and Aesir Pass may contain encryption keys that would unlock data concerning two enigmatic keywords from Database 1. The key on Minkit would unlock intel regarding Vessel 00, the cache on Aesir Pass would unlock intel regarding the nucleus. This presents a critical choice. The automatons are expected to purge all data from one site as soon as the other is compromised. Very likely only one encryption key can be recovered. The Helldivers must choose which intel to prioritize. They are ordered to liberate Minkit or Aesir Pass. Yeah, so we have the choice. Do we go after Vessel 00 or Nucleus? I don't know. I have no idea which one is going to be better for us, or we'll have more information or valuable information. I've got no idea. But I will say, as of right now on Tarsh, the Incineration Core is right there. It's going to be a tough battle here to progress forward to Vernon Wells and then on to Minkit or Aesir Pass. Let's say we get through, which I guarantee we will. We'll get through Tarsh, we'll liberate it. That has a 1.92% in resistance. And if we head up further, Vernon Wells is 1.33. And thankfully, there's no difference here between Minkit and Aesir Pass because they're both 2.00. Same thing with Minkit 2.00. Anywho, I have a feeling that Vessel 00 is going to contain some valuable information. It sounds like a cool name anyways. Not an undemocratic thought to think Vessel 00 is pretty cool. It does sound cool. Let me know what you think. Are you going to go after Minkit or Aesir Pass, Vessel 00, or Nucleus? On a side note, I can't wait to find out more information about this, as well as what's going on the Gloom side with E711 and the whole entire situation with the Gloom. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot going on here. Since we're talking about the Gloom and how I've brought up E711, let's check out the latest developer's social media posts because it's, well, quite intriguing. We can see right away at the very top that they mention this document is classified and must be studied closely. They also state that any unauthorized spread of the document or its content will be investigated and prosecuted as treason. So yeah, technically I'm doing exactly what they told us not to do, and I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, jokes aside, let's go over the East 711 document right away. We can see it says Department East 711 Research Group number 37. Quick thing, I wonder what happened to the previous groups. Anywho, the attendees are Harry Roberts, Gorshin Morris, and Eva Kawera, if I'm pronouncing that right, I have no idea. In the first sentence, it appears that they had apparently grabbed some of the fruits that were inside the Gloom and gave it to citizens or gave it to somebody. The main reason for consuming it was that they wanted to find another purpose for it besides fuel for faster than light travel. Now, some parts are redacted, but as we read further, it seems that the fruits were extremely lethal, which is no surprise. By the way, I believe those two sentences are connected unless they're referring to something completely different, but again, things are redacted. With that being said, if we go further down, we have the results of what they were able to test. First, the test subject was an ant colony. They poured the E711 on top of the ant colony, and the report stated a putrid scent of repression and startling abandonment of any appreciation for freedom. It seems that the results weren't safe at all. Next, the second test subject is redacted. Besides that, the method of combination was fusion, and we have no idea what the test results were, but it seems they could have been bad considering they marked it as not safe. The third test subject, funny enough, was a chair. They coded the chair and wrote down the results. They observed that it had vastly increased lubrication with unforeseen consequences. Something about locking mechanisms, and it turns out it was disfigured with an unintended fold. Was it safe? Well, that remains to be determined. Moving along, the fourth test subject is redacted as well, just like the second test, and the method of combination was exposure, believe it or not. They created a freaking black hole that nearly absorbed everything in the room, or maybe further. Somehow they managed to contain it before things got worse. The fifth test was a good old bag of jelly divers. I'm sure you all remember jelly divers, right? If not, I'll be sure to throw an image on the screen right now. Anyway, they coated the jelly divers just like they did with the folding chair and discovered a new flavor that resembles cinnamon. Okay, someone actually tasted or ate the jelly divers after they injected or did whatever they did with the E711. Overall, they're unsure if it's safe, so they have marked it as to be determined. If you thought that was crazy, just wait until you hear about the next test subject, which is an industrial freezer. The method of combination was freezing, and they froze it to minus 50 degrees, which turned it into a slow-acting absorbent slime. I believe the person who touched this was Harry, since the name fits, and if so, well, he lost his finger. But hey, there's good news. It might just be a new toy for kids. Lastly, for the test subjects, another redacted entry. Someone consumed E711, not the fruit, but the actual E711 oil. The results mention reverse engineering, nausea, and inability to form democratic thoughts. And an interesting note here about controllable pets. Could it be terminids? I mean, if so, that doesn't seem right, does it? All in all, a very intriguing document, and if you're wondering what it says at the bottom, it's essentially the same thing that was posted in the official social media account, or official Helldivers social media account. Apparently I can't speak, but yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. Lastly, we've got the top 3 comments. First, from Kiichi, or Kiichi. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. You can correct me in the comments, and forgive me, by the way. You didn't expect us to win the major order because you feel like it's all predetermined. And to be fair, the situation as of late, or yesterday, it does seem a little bit predetermined, right? I mean, how did we capture so many? I don't know. And to be fair, to be fair, the developers have said that, hey, it's not all predetermined and that we actually are winning these mage orders. However, who knows what the truth is. The second top comment comes from Working Beard. Shout out to you, my friend. You talked about the E711 and how the gloom is never going to go away because, well, we need E711. It's the source of dark fluid, and you're absolutely right. On top of that, you talk about how the next war bond is going to be based around dark fluid, or basically, you know, it's going to be kind of like Illuminate technology, essentially, right? And I like that idea, and hopefully that's what we receive. The third and final top comment is by Exotic Sheep 4323. I actually like that name, by the way. You want the bugs to be resolved, and I have to block out a specific word that you mentioned here. And yeah, absolutely, I'm all for it, man. We absolutely need a ton of bug fixes, performance improvements, and so forth. And hopefully that's what will arrive next month, or this month, I should say. And yeah, the update's supposed to arrive mid-October. We'll see what happens, and I'll be sure to let you know what's going on there. With all that being said, those are the top 3 comments. If you found today's video helpful, consider tapping the thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you haven't done so already. Also, I just want to quickly say this. When I call you guys lurkers, the ones that stop by, I absolutely appreciate you. There's no shade or hate on you guys. Thank you for stopping by. But with that said, as well, I appreciate everyone from the subscribers, the members, and the lurkers. Remember, subscribing is completely free. Turn on those notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.